Hi boys and girls, how you doing? A lot of you have been asking me questions recently about who I am, what I do, etc. So I decided to make a sort of personal video just for you guys for my YouTube channel. Perfect time to do it. There's music, there's snow. It kind of describes exactly where I am. So first and foremost, my name's Paul, if you didn't know. I'm 37, I'm a teacher, and I've been teaching for, I think, about maybe 15 years or so. I'm not sure exactly. And I really enjoy it, and I'll give you some more details about that later. I'm English. I was born in London, I grew up in London, I started teaching in England, not in London, thank God. And then I started teaching in Germany at secondary schools. Then I left Germany and I came to where I am now. And that's where a lot of people ask, like, where do you teach? And of course, if you'd like to know where I teach, if you don't recognize this building or don't recognize anything around me, just follow me here. And you will see one of the most impressive buildings in the world, St. Basil's Cathedral, Red Square, in Moscow, the mighty Russian Federation. Yes, that is where I teach, and I absolutely love living here. So a lot of people have been asking me, like, why I became a teacher. It's actually the most common question. It's kind of hard to say, but I suppose when I look back at my life when I was younger, I think about who truly inspired me and why they did, and those were my German teachers, because I actually studied German at university, and my school teacher, Mr. Room, unfortunately he passed away last year, very young, which is very sad, but he was a great guy. He was funny, he explained things really, really well, and you kind of felt good just being there in the classroom, so we kind of looked forward going to school. That day we had German. And when I finished school and I did my 2 years A-level before university, again, another truly inspirational teacher called John Hill. He just explained things so easily. And when we were feeling down, he could just feel us and he just cheered us up. He gave us, like, sometimes really kind of crazy examples which helped us to remember, like, grammar and certain vocabulary. And actually that's how I teach as well. A lot of my examples are really stupid because it actually helps people remember. So it's not just because I'm crazy or mental, it's because it's for a reason, because of my former teacher. As for the other reason why I became a teacher, not just because of being inspired, I suppose, I don't think my childhood was probably the best when I had long blonde hair, which is hard to believe. I think things maybe could have been done a bit differently, things could have been explained a bit differently. And I kind of feel that, like, I don't want people to miss out on any opportunity. I like the idea of sort of teaching people not just English, but to kind of motivate them, to give them some moral principles to sort of guide their lives. And I just like the idea that I can make a difference. No one should ever suffer, especially young people. And when I kind of see parents sort of demotivating their children or saying something stupid, I want to kill them. I really do. Kids aren't the problem, parents are. And yeah, that's the main reason. I really believe that I can make a difference in people's lives. So yeah, a lot of people want to kind of learn with me. If you live in Moscow, you're more than welcome to come to my classes. Again, on the Kontaktia, the Russian social network, you'll see that I have adverts there for my school. For those of you who live in other countries, of course, follow me on YouTube. I'll put up more videos. I'm going to renew the Facebook page, to be honest, and I'm just going to keep going up and up and up, and hopefully one day I'll be able to travel not just around Russia to teach like I do, but other countries in the world where I can meet all of you and pass on my knowledge and experience. So right, I'm going to go and get coffee now because my brain is frozen. Brilliant. So when I'm not teaching, I like to do many things in my free time, but of course the most important thing is to spend time with my gorgeous daughter Sasha, who is right here, but you can't see her. Stand up. Good girl. Here she is. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. This is my beautiful daughter. Now, maybe you would like to help me teach English.
Of course.
Yeah? Okay, for beginners. So I'll say something in English and you'll translate it into Russian, okay?
Yes.
Alright? Okay, something simple. My name is Paul.
Меня зовут Пол.
I am English.
Я англичанин.
I am from London.
Я из Лондона,
But I live in Moscow.
но я живу в Москве.
I like swimming and going to the gym to exercise.
Когда я сплю, я храплю, и у меня текут слюни.
Right, okay, whatever. See, my Russian's not very good. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Goodbye. До свидания.
До свидания, goodbye. Okay, ready?
Yes.
This is where I like to come when I'm not teaching, because I teach a lot and so I like to exercise. And not just exercise, but meet a lot of people here where I can speak Russian, and even Leo, who speaks perfect English. It's basically near where I live. And yeah, it's one of my hobbies. So yeah, that's it.
That's it?
Basically, yeah.
The audience is wondering, what are your 3 tips for the perfect exercise?
Okay, 3 tips for the perfect exercise. Firstly, I would say when you come to the gym, leave your ego at the door, because nobody cares if you're trying to like do more weights than the other person. Really, it doesn't matter. Secondly, I would say warm up. So maybe on a running machine or an ellipsis, it's very important to warm up. And some trainers say don't do it, which I find stupid. And thirdly, always have the correct technique. And if your technique's bad, you have too many weights. So drop the weight, get the right technique, and you'll get there much quicker. So yeah, I think that's it. And I've just trained for 2 hours. I'm tired. Now I'm going to KFC.
All right.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Bye. So this is my final hobby. As you just saw, I like to go to the gym to take my mind off teaching. On top of that, I like to do modelling. And as you can see behind me, I've got a lot of models on my shelves. They start out as little pieces of plastic like this. I cut them out, clean them, glue them together, paint them. And if I don't cut my finger off in the process or glue my hand to a model, or the model doesn't end up on the floor or in the bin, then it ends up here on the shelf. Yeah, they're not bad. I'm not a professional by any means, but it's just a nice way to use my hands and just to kind of not think about anything. And I think I really need to give them a clean, to be honest. This is like a nice British Spitfire. And yeah, it's really dirty. I think I should clean this actually, to be honest. And so yeah, that's basically my my hobbies that I do to keep my brain working, or not working, as it were. Okay, right, let's move on to my top tips for learning English. So my friends, this concludes my little introductory video, my top 5 tips for learning English. Of course they're quite obvious, but I'll sort of just tell you them again, because I've mentioned them in other videos. You know, the first one is like, and I tell this to my students, if you really want to learn English, if you want to learn anything, you need to go that extra mile. You need to do more than expected. And for example, I've had students in the past who like came to my classes and they really sort of didn't do more than what I told them to do. Those students who went home and used their initiative, and they sort of went onto the internet, found things, found out books they could use themselves, asked other people. Those are the people that progressed very, very quickly, because they're doing more. And they're just kind of exercising their brains a lot more, and so, you know, as a result, their English is a lot better. The second one, don't worry too much about mistakes. Now here in Russia, that's a big problem, because in Russian schools, students are often told you've got to be correct, and as a result, that kills confidence, and students then just don't speak that much. And so I have to then sort of break down that system and rebuild them again, and by telling them that it's okay to make mistakes. That's why pencils have a rubber on the end, because people make mistakes. And if you don't open your mouth, well, you're not going to practice, are you? And it's impossible to be perfect. It really, really is. Even students who are advanced will make mistakes. So don't worry about it. And in my sort of experience, I've had students who are like pre-intermediate who have the most wonderful characters ever. And it doesn't matter that they make mistakes, they're still great to talk to. So it doesn't matter. You have to get that stigma out of your heads. Number 3, if you want top quality teaching, spend money. So that means, like, you know, a lot of people do send me messages asking for my help. I want to help everyone as much as I can. However, some people do ask questions. Hello Paul, how do I learn English? Like, or can I speak to you for like an hour? What, for fun? It's like, no, I'm extremely busy. I mean, I'd like to help, but if you want me to sort of teach you, you're going to have to pay me to do it. And And so, you know, online there's a lot of information, a lot of websites where you can do some online exercises. There's, for example, on Russian social network like VK, there's so many communities for learning English. And, you know, to be honest, if all that stuff was useful and great, everybody would speak perfect English around the world. But the truth is they don't. Because number one, there's an information overload, and number two, people don't know how to use it. You need to have a teacher. It's as simple as that. Or unless you are super talented and gifted or have some superpower, then congratulations. Okay? Number four, be realistic. Can I learn English in 6 months? Forget it. Okay? I don't care what some people tell me, that, oh, you can learn a language in 3 months. Like, no, you can't. Because I've never met anyone that can. Again, if they have a superpower, congratulations. But it takes years and years of practice, absolute years. Yes, in 3 months you can learn to communicate, maybe if you go on holiday, some basic communication. But to get to a super advanced level from a beginner, forget it, it's not going to happen. Also, when I say be realistic, you know, that also means that if, for example, you know, you've got a job, you've got a family, you've got kids to look after, you have a lot of obligations or commitments, you know, the time you can invest in learning English is not going to be as much as a student at university. You should never compare. You should just sort of understand that you're doing as much as you sort of mentally and physically can within your sort of restrictions, you know, within your limits. All right? And number five, very simple, just enjoy it. You know, I would never spend time doing something that I didn't enjoy. Why waste time? You know, learning English should not be boring, it should not be a chore. You can enjoy it. There are so many things like available, like even funny videos on YouTube. Watch films in English, you know, like even I mentioned up here, you know, when you're learning, do more than expected. Watch your TV, read your books, you know, find people online to talk to. You know, if you travel, throw yourself into a situation, speak to people. You know, have great fun doing it. You know, I love teaching, I love learning languages myself. I think it's enjoyable. I mean, for me, the biggest benefit is being able to communicate to anyone around the world. So, that's it, okay? Have a nice day, everyone. I am now going to watch kitten and puppy videos on YouTube to relax.